Have you ever grabbed a handful of nuts from the pantry, thinking they were the perfect pick-me-up for your health, only to feel a bit more tired or notice your joints acting up later that day? It's a common whisper of doubt that many people over 50 have shared with me in my office over the years. Dr. Harrison, are all nuts truly beneficial for me now that I'm getting older? It's a straightforward question, and it can make a big difference in how you feel every day. The truth is, not all nuts are created equal, especially when you're over 60. Some can work behind the scenes to strengthen your muscles, cut down on swelling, and keep you moving freely and staying independent in your daily life. Others, though, might be doing the opposite, making it harder for your body to recover, stirring up joint issues, or adding to that mid-afternoon fatigue you're trying to beat. In this video, I'm going to guide you through the 5 best nuts for muscle health as you age, and the 5 you might want to eat less of or avoid if possible. We'll look at which ones really help build and protect your muscle strength, and which ones could be holding you back. By the end, you'll know exactly which nuts are your allies and how to use them in a way that's simple and effective for your lifestyle. Let's sit down together, just like we would in my clinic in a quiet corner of Ohio, and talk about what really matters for your well-being. Nuts aren't all the same when it comes to supporting muscle health after 60. I learned this the hard way about 5 years ago with my father, who was 76 at the time, when he started dealing with muscle weakness that had our whole family worried. Dad had always been the strong, active type. He could still tinker with old lawnmowers in his garage at 73 and keep up with younger neighbors during weekend hikes in the rolling hills of the Midwest. But over about 18 months, we watched as his strength seemed to slip away. Things like getting up from his favorite armchair became a real effort. He'd use both hands to lift his coffee cup without spilling it. What hit me hardest was when he stopped his hobby of building model trains, something he'd loved for decades, because his hands couldn't hold the small tools anymore. As a doctor, I knew it was age-related muscle loss, which affects just about everyone after 60. But as his son, seeing my tough, self-reliant dad become weak and frustrated was heartbreaking. We tried the usual approaches: protein shakes, some lightweight training, and even considered medication. They helped a little, but the changes were slow and not enough. Then, during one of our regular visits, Dad mentioned he'd been snacking on mixed nuts all day because he'd heard they were good for you. When I asked to see the bag, I was surprised. It was full of nuts that were working against his muscle-building efforts, with very few of the ones that could help. That moment sent me on a deep research journey that changed how I think about food for muscle health in older adults. I found out that some nuts have special building blocks, minerals, and natural compounds that can really help muscles repair and grow in seniors, while others can get in the way. When we switched Dad to the right nuts in the right amounts, along with a few other diet changes, the difference was amazing. Within 2 months, he was standing up from his chair without using the arms for support. Within 4 months, he was back to light model building. Today, at 81, he still takes care of his backyard garden and recently put together a new train set for his grandchildren's playroom in our family home in Ohio. Nuts weren't the only thing that made this happen, but they played a big part by giving his muscles the specific nutrients they needed to respond better to his other healthy habits. From Dad's experience and from helping hundreds of patients since then, I've seen that choosing the right nuts can be a powerful tool in fighting back against muscle loss as we age. Let's start with the 5 best nuts for muscle health after 60, and I'll explain why each one is on the list with simple reasons you can understand. The first one might surprise you because it's not as popular as some others: the Brazil nut. Brazil nuts are great for muscles mainly because they're packed with selenium. Just one Brazil nut gives you all the selenium you need for the day, a mineral that's key for how muscles work and fix themselves. Selenium acts like a shield in your muscle tissues, protecting them from the kind of damage that speeds up muscle breakdown as we get older. And here's why it's so important for people over 60. Our bodies don't absorb selenium as well anymore, and many older folks are low on it without knowing. This can lead to weaker muscles and faster loss. The selenium in Brazil nuts is easy for your body to use. They also have about 4 grams of protein per ounce, plus magnesium and zinc, which help with muscle movement and repair. Magnesium helps muscles contract and relax, and zinc is needed for building new muscle tissue. But because they're so rich in selenium, you only need 1 or 2 a day. Eating more can lead to too much selenium, which isn't good. So, keep it to a small amount for the best results. The second great choice is the peanut, which is a legume but counts as a nut for eating purposes. Peanuts are excellent because they have a great mix of amino acids that support muscle building better than many other nuts. They're high in arginine, an amino acid that helps improve blood flow to your muscles. This means nutrients and oxygen get to your muscles more easily, which is especially helpful as blood vessels change with age and can reduce flow. Arginine also helps make nitric oxide, which relaxes blood vessels for even better circulation. Peanuts give you about 7 grams of protein per ounce, along with folate, niacin, and vitamin E. Folate helps keep things in balance for muscle growth, and vitamin E protects muscle cells from damage. Peanuts are affordable and easy to find, making them practical for everyday use. If chewing hard nuts is hard, natural peanut butter is a good option. Just pick ones without added sugar or too much salt to keep it healthy. A quick tip: spread some natural peanut butter on apple slices for a tasty snack that combines protein with fruit for extra vitamins. This can be a nice way to get your daily portion without feeling like it's a chore. The third standout is the walnut. Walnuts are unique because they have omega-3 fats called alpha-linolenic acid that help fight inflammation. Inflammation is a big problem for muscles. As we age, it can make them break down faster. Walnuts' omega-3s help reduce this, creating a better environment for muscles to stay strong or grow. They also have ellagic acid, which can help with muscle recovery and prevent damage from aging. With about 4 grams of protein per ounce, they're a solid choice. Studies show people who eat walnuts regularly have better muscle strength and can do daily tasks more easily. The benefits go beyond just size to how well muscles work. If walnuts taste bitter, soak them in water for a few hours to make them milder and easier to digest. Try adding them to your morning oatmeal or a salad for lunch to mix things up. For example, chop a few walnut halves and sprinkle them on plain yogurt with a dash of honey. It's a simple, delicious way to get the benefits without much effort. The fourth is the almond, which is known for being nutritious, and for good reason. Almonds have a good balance of protein, healthy fats, and minerals that support muscles. You get about 6 grams of protein per ounce, which is high for nuts. They're rich in magnesium, which is involved in many body processes, including muscle function, energy production, and building proteins. Many people over 60 are low on magnesium, leading to weakness or cramps. Almonds also have vitamin E to protect muscle cells from damage and calcium for muscle contractions. The mix of magnesium and calcium can help prevent cramps. Almonds are easy to carry around and last a long time. If you prefer something softer, almond butter or unsweetened almond milk in smoothies works well. One easy idea: blend almond milk with a banana and a scoop of protein powder for a quick breakfast shake that supports your muscles. The fifth is the pistachio, which has some special features that make it great for older adults. Pistachios have all the essential amino acids your body can't make, making them good for muscle building. They're high in leucine, which triggers muscle growth. As we age, muscles don't respond as well to protein, but leucine helps overcome that. They also have potassium to prevent cramps and keep muscles working right. Many seniors don't get enough potassium, so this is a plus. The shells help you eat slower and control portions, which is good for weight management to avoid straining joints. Pistachios have antioxidants like lutein that help with recovery. Try them as a snack with a piece of cheese for added protein, or sprinkle shelled ones on a salad. Now, it's important to know the 5 nuts to limit if muscle health is your goal. These aren't bad, but they don't help as much and might even get in the way. First, macadamia nuts. They're tasty but low in protein, only 2 grams per ounce, and high in calories, about 200 per ounce. This means you can eat a lot of calories without much protein for muscles. They're also expensive, so not the best value for muscle support. Enjoy them now and then as a treat, but not every day. Second, cashews. They have 4 grams of protein per ounce, but they're higher in carbs and often roasted with oil and salt, which can cause inflammation. They can also cause allergies, which might start later in life. If you like them, choose raw and unsalted, and don't eat too many. For instance, if you're making a stir-fry, use a small handful as a topping rather than a main ingredient. Third, pine nuts. They have 4 grams of protein for 200 calories, but they spoil fast and can taste bad if old, affecting your appetite. They're usually used in small amounts, like in pesto, not as a snack for nutrition. Fourth, Brazil nuts, but only if you eat too many. While great in small doses, more than 1 to 2 a day can lead to too much selenium, causing weakness or fatigue. Keep an eye on portions, especially if you take supplements. Fifth, pecans. They have 3 grams of protein for 200 calories and high fat that might affect how you absorb protein from other foods. They're often in sweet dishes like pie, adding sugar that can mess with muscle building. Limit to plain ones occasionally. Now, some practical tips to add the good nuts to your routine for the best muscle benefits. Aim for 1 ounce a day for most nuts. That's about 24 almonds, 14 walnut halves, or 49 pistachios. For Brazil nuts, stick to 1 or 2. Eat them with other proteins, like in a salad with chicken, to help with muscle building. Prepare portions ahead in small bags for the week to avoid eating too much. Soak nuts like almonds or walnuts overnight to make them easier to digest and absorb nutrients better. If chewing is an issue, use nut butters on toast or in smoothies. For example, a simple recipe: mix natural almond butter with oats and a banana for no-bake energy balls that you can grab as a snack. Let me share a story about one of my patients, Mrs. Thompson, who was 71 when she came to see me, worried about her dropping strength levels. She'd been an avid baker her whole life, whipping up pies and cookies in her cozy kitchen in Michigan, but lately, lifting mixing bowls and rolling dough was becoming too hard. She was already trying to eat better and had been snacking on mixed nuts, mostly cashews and pecans, because they tasted mild and smooth. Those aren't harmful, but they weren't giving her muscles the targeted help they needed. We made gradual changes, starting with adding a few almonds and walnuts to her morning oatmeal. Then she built up to a full serving as an afternoon snack. She added 1 Brazil nut with breakfast and a small handful of pistachios with her evening meal. The shifts weren't overnight miracles, but over 3 months, Mrs. Thompson noticed real improvements. Her energy picked up, she felt stronger doing everyday things, and she was back to baking full batches of cookies for her grandchildren. She even started a small herb garden in her backyard, something she hadn't had the strength for in years. Mrs. Thompson's success shows that small, steady changes in what you eat can have a big impact on muscle health over time. You don't have to overhaul everything at once, just focus on better choices consistently. To make the nuts even more effective, combine them with other good protein sources throughout the day, like eggs or fish, to get a variety of building blocks for muscles. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water to help your muscles work well, and to digest the fiber in nuts without issues. Aim for 8 glasses a day, more if you're active. Have your vitamin D levels checked, as many over 60 are low, which can affect muscle strength. Talk to your doctor about supplements if needed. Add some light activity, like walking around the block or doing arm lifts with cans from your pantry, to boost the benefits from the nuts. Also, if you're on medications, check with your doctor to make sure there are no interactions with nuts or changes in what you need. As we wrap up, remember that what you eat is something you can control to help stay strong and independent as you age. It's not the only piece, but it's an important one. By picking almonds, walnuts, pistachios, Brazil nuts, and peanuts more often than the others, you're giving your muscles the nutrients they need to stay functional and strong. Don't aim for perfect consistency, is better. If you enjoy a macadamia or pecan sometimes, that's fine. Just make the good ones your main go-to. Start small. If you're new to this, try a handful of almonds a few times a week and see how you feel. Many people notice more energy and easier movement within a few weeks to a couple of months. Your muscles have carried you through life for decades, and they deserve the best support you can give them. Making smart choices about nuts is a simple step toward keeping your strength and enjoying the things you love for years ahead. Thank you for spending time with me today. Remember, small changes done regularly can lead to big improvements in your strength and daily life. What do you think about violence and injustice in life? Share your opinions in the comments below, take a stand, and express your views. I'd love to hear what you have to say.